Hello guys, Jerry speaking. Welcome to LJPCBM episode number 872, and today we're reacting to OddGamer episode number 18, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. Now this is another 4th of July, Christmas July episode we're reacting to. Reacting to this beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. OddGamer in. Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. Special surprise cameo appearance by 09. Okay, makes more sense. Continue on. Okay. Wow. Okay.
'Twas a long time ago, not as long as you think, in a site you would see after clicking this link. Reviews came a long way since...
Wait. Star Wars hits movie Final Fantasy. And is that Gene Siskel on the left? Okay. Excuse me, Eber. Okay, that's my friend.
The online world with a critic and a nerd.
Oh, wow. They mentioned AVGN Nostalgia Critic. Continue on.
You've probably wondered how and where reviews come from. But if not, well, let's say this one has begun.
Okay. Okay, makes sense.
Hello, Internet viewers. I'm the Fairly OddGamer. As you can tell from my Santa hat, this is another Christmas review. And you might be asking why my shirt has a cool design on it. I'm glad you asked. Because today, I'm going to talk about The Nightmare Before Christmas. Originally written as a poem by the film's producer, Tim Burton, the film will be planned to be released as a short film but could not prevail.
Now, if you watch this, Bob showed this for you. Continue on.
It wasn't until 1990 when he made a deal with Disney to make the small project into a full-length motion picture directed by Henry Selick. When the movie premiered in 1993, 2 days before Halloween, it was met with a critical success with 95% on Rotten Tomatoes and a financial success with $76 million at the box office. Since then, it's been aired on television as not only a Halloween special, but also a Christmas special.
Wow.
And of course, with every other well-known movie at the time, you'd expect to see a video game tie-in. While the film did make a video game appearance in 2002 with Kingdom Hearts, it wasn't until 3 years later when we would finally get a game based
2 years in Japan. Hold on.
That game is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Hold on, one moment. 2 years in Japan. Give me one moment.
While the film did make a video game appearance in 2002 with Kingdom Hearts, it wasn't until 3 years later when
2 years in Japan. Continue on.
finally get a game based on the movie.
Okay.
That game is The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge.
Okay.
Does it follow to the film's success? Let's find out. We see that the game was made by Capcom, the company known for Mega Man, Street Fighter, and most importantly, the DuckTales games.
Okay.
Anyway, the game starts off in the same way as the movie, with a narrator again showing how and where holidays come from. While the game perfectly replicated the scene, it seems a bit foggy to me. So another Halloween has come to an end, as Jack once again doesn't enjoy having the same Halloween every year. He then goes to the doctor and tells Finkelstein that he wants a new Halloween.
Give me a moment. I'll be right back. I am back, folks. Sorry for the delay. I just came back to spend time with my mom and do some TMI thing. And she just fixed my bed and opened my box and about Pat Sajak from I got for my birthday and things like that. But anyway, let's continue on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Fresh, new, and improved Halloween, Doctor. After last year, we can't just do the same old thing. We should all be inspired to do something different.
Okay.
New scares, new ideas, new discoveries.
So Dr. Finkelstein hands him the soul robber, which becomes attached to Jack's right wrist. Though, to be honest, it looks like one of those sticky hand toys you find in one of those cheap dollar store places.
Okay.
He decides to leave town to find new discoveries for next Halloween, when suddenly Lock, Stock, and Barrel arrive.
Wow.
Town. Now we can bring back Oogie. Yeah. How
Okay.
hard can it be?
Well, we'll find out soon enough.
Okay.
On December 23rd, Sally tries to send Jack a message via magical paper airplane. When all of a sudden...
Wow.
Hurry, Jack!
On to the first level, or chapter, if you will, Jack's return.
Okay.
Jack returns to Halloween Town the next day as he finds skeletal monsters that try to destroy him, which
Okay.
Jack manages to kill courtesy of the Soul Robber. He
Okay.
then finds Mr. Hyde as Jack begins to wonder what had happened while he was away. So apparently
Okay.
Lock, Stock, and Barrel, the ones we saw earlier, managed to sew Oogie Boogie back together again.
Okay.
Bangs and all. Oogie is back.
Apparently Jack and the miner Dr. Finkelstein wanted a dangerous Halloween with booby traps set up. However, loads of ghosts, ghouls, and skeletons began attacking the citizens of Halloween Town to the point where it was no longer safe to be on the streets.
This is a disaster. I've got to find the doctor.
So it's up to Jack to stop Oogie and save the town from any harm.
Okay.
Now, before I move on, I'd like to point out that the gameplay is very similar to, if not exactly, like another Capcom game series called Devil May Cry.
Okay. Makes sense.
Did I just hear you say Devil May Cry?
Seth?
Oh, that's awesome. You're
Wow.
finally playing Devil May Cry. Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite weapon? What's your favorite style? Trickster? Gunslinger? Swordmaster? Royal Guard? Come on, tell me.
Yeah, about that, I'm actually playing The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge.
Yeah.
Oh. I've never played that game. Yet.
Hmm.
Trickster.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway,
The gameplay does feel similar to Devil May Cry. Instead of a sword, Jack uses a Soul Robber to attack enemies and make
Okay.
In addition to the classic enemy slap, there's the Soul Slam that lets Jack slam enemies to the ground. Finally, there's the Soul Spin, which not only protects Jack from enemy attack, but it can also be used as a counterattack. Not to mention
Okay.
it can lure in souls with Jack. And like Devil May Cry, the game features combat ranks such as Bone Chilling, Spine Tingling, Horror Show, and Pumpkin King.
Okay.
Even as this game's stylish.
First courtesy of Zero Night. Continue on.
And Jack makes his way to Town Hall where he finds Oogie, and by that I'm referring to his shadow. The boss battle works like this. You have a basic combat battle by whipping Oogie with a Soul Robber.
Okay.
Instead of souls, Jack ends up collecting music notes that fills up a dance meter. Once it fills up, the game slowly turns into Dance Dance Revolution by having to press the right buttons at the right time.
Okay.
I mentioned that we get to hear a rendition of Oogie's song. I don't mind having different lyrics because I feel that it fits the tone of the boss battle pretty well. After defeating Oogie's shadow, he then disappears as he retrieves the Halloween door. At the end of each level, you are then ranked based on time, combo, damage, and exclamation mark count, giving you an overall nightmare rank for that level. While
Wow.
I'm at it, there are two ways to save your progress in the game. One option is a menu that lets you save your game after completing a level, like in Devil May Cry. The other option is talking to Mr. Hyde, which is used as the game's saving point during certain levels. Think of him as the checkpoint system.
Don't
Good.
forget.
Save it now, or risk doing it again.
It's actually a clever idea, and I think more games should have that feature. Next level, the Witching Hour. After defeating more skeletons, the witch's shop is now open. Remember when I said that Jack collects souls after beating up the enemies? Well, it turns out these souls is actually a currency in this game, which you use to purchase items in the witch's shop, such as items and pumpkins, which is used as the game's health meter.
Okay.
I also want to point out that you can also pour fountain water into a crystal ball that lets you replenish your health if needed. Anyway,
Makes
Jack
sense.
finds the corpse kid, who tells Jack that the clown with the tearaway face has the key to open the main gate to the graveyard. After finding Clown in the sewer, which is one of the hidden areas in the game, Jack beats up more skeletons as we find out that Clown may have lost the key.
Okay.
At least what he remembers.
Did I eat it? I'll open the gate once I find it.
Okay.
Clown does end up finding the key, which then opens the main gate to the graveyard. On to the next level, the Hanging Tree. After Jack enters the graveyard, he then finds the Hanging Tree, who tells Jack that his hanging men may have scattered around the graveyard after hearing about Oogie.
I'm afraid that hanging men aren't very brave.
Okay.
But before doing so, Jack needs help from his loyal ghostly companion, Zero. And suddenly, Lock, Stock, and Barrel arrive via bathtub as Jack tells him to return Halloween Town back to normal.
Why would we do that?
The fun has just begun.
Wow.
Besides, we're on a secret mission to stop you. Don't tell anyone, though.
Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the voice acting. I'm glad this game got some of the actors who reprised their roles such as Chris Sarandon as Jack, Ken Page as Oogie Book.
Wait. Who was that? Hang on. One moment.
One, though.
Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the voice acting. I'm glad this game got some of the actors who reprised their roles, such as Chris Sarandon.
That's him on the level of OddGamer, okay.
Jack, Kim Page is Oogie Boogie.
Hang on.
I'm glad this game got some of the actors who reprised their roles, such as Chris Sarandon as Jack, Kim Page as Oogie Boogie, Paul Rubens as Locke, and the late Lynn Shaggs as the mayor. Even some of the minor characters got their original voices back, like the Corpse Kid and Mr. Hyde. But let's talk about the characters with different voice actors because of death or contract. First off is Dr. Finkelstein, this time voiced by Jess Harnell. He's known for voicing Wacko from Animaniacs, Crash Bandicoot, and, dare I say it, Bruce from Finding Nemo.
Yeah, which did a reaction video to it back on the 850th show of LJPCBM, but he also did the character I saw before on Recess. It's a on this episode called "Seen Here" on the Story of Womps. If you remember correctly, I did back on Story of Womps episode of Recess jokes. I said that this is an episode I did, and I heard that he had to fight with Mr. White, and that's basically it. Basically, the episode I did, I'm like, wow. Okay, makes more sense. Continue on.
Hello?
Let me just say right now, in all seriousness, that it's only a coincidence and nothing is wrong with that.
Exactly.
Personally, Harnell's take on Finkelstein is incredible. Not only does he currently voice him in the Kingdom Hearts games, but I think he's a great replacement to the late William Hickey who voiced him in the movie.
Yeah.
Next is D. Bradley Baker, the voice behind Clown and Barrel, originally voiced by the film's composer Danny Elfman. Like Harnell, Baker does a spot-on impression of both characters, especially Barrel. But I'm a bit iffy about Cass Sosi as Sally in Shock, originally voiced in the movie by Catherine O'Hara. While I like Sosi's take on Sally, it's her take on Shock that I'm not very keen about. O'Hara nailed Shock perfectly and can still pull it off today. Shock in this game sounds like Lil from Rugrats. Oh, wait a minute. But other than that, there's nothing much.
Yeah, he did. She also did the voice of Tish for the Weekenders. She also did the voice of, let's just say, for example, she also did Ja for Clifford the Big Red Dog. You know, I mean, I met with Jason Martin before, and I said to Jason, we spoke to Jason about and said about this. I met with, I saw you on the Weekenders before, and Max Goof, you, Phil, Gray, and Kath are great voice actor and actresses to be the voice of the Weekenders. You know, that's just me. Continue on.
Talk about it, except that Sarandon also does the singing voice for Jack here, unlike in the movie, which is done by Elfman. And
Okay.
Locke calls in more skeletons, which Jack ends up destroying.
Get him! Huh? Where'd they all go? Sorry, I'll be good from now on. I promise.
Oh.
Yeah, funny you say that, Locke. We can clearly see you crossing your fingers behind your back.
And speaking of, let's say, well, besides from the point where Kath is the voice of the same in the video game, let's just talk about Kath for a moment, okay? And let's go to new tab real quick. I'll get back to reaction video real quick. Kath Solchik, okay? When I did talk about Bob's Show review on Reaction Videos episode 9 of Relative React, or 12, 13, excuse me. She did voice of, or 16, I meant to say, over episodes. She did the voice of, Tuffy on some recent Tom and Jerry movies. And then, let's just say, she also did the voice of these following TV series. I'm going to say animated series, say the least, but let's just say, for example, she did the voice of, she did Tiny Toon Adventures, if you watch this remix. She also did the voice of, she also did Tailspin for one, and she also did Darkwing Duck for one. For just, I don't know what season that was, voice of Mrs. Dracula, and I can't pronounce his name, sorry. And then, Goop Troop, she did the voice of Debbie at the time. Yeah, some of the Disney Afternoon stuff. Well, I can remember, Pepper Ann, she did the voice of Sissy Rooney and Mrs. Lil. And Recess, she did the voice of Butch, Sydney, Jeffrey, the baby, and Violet's kindergartners. Okay? Now for let's say I'm a huge fan of Cartoon Network at the time. Hercules in 98 to 99. She did a voice of these two voices, you know. There's a lot that I'm not going to mention here in those reacts, but, you know, there's a lot to go with. From Kid Possible, Caitlin, Co-Pilot, French Girl, Moby Girl, this is going to be a lot of this. But you know what, there's a lot to name in this episode. That's just me, of course. But anyway, after she did Regainers and Ruby, yeah, that's gonna be a lot of huge sense. But you know, I mean, sure, I'm gonna regret that she did Loud House as well. But you know, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of it for Calf. You know, yeah, I'll see what I can do. Continue on.
So with the help of Zero, Jack finds all the hanging men that have been scattered around the graveyard, quivering with fear. Also, if you press the select button, it gives you a map on where any objective is located at. It can make each level much easier for you. Also, pressing the start button lets you use your items as well as finding new information about each weapon as well as different characters you encounter. Next chapter, Grave Danger. The Hanging Tree thanks Jack for finding all the hanging men as Jack finds out the monsters are attacking from inside the tombstones, which he closes up courtesy of a soul robber.
Okay.
Jack then receives Sally's paper plane letter telling him to return to Halloween Town as soon as possible, which Sally disappears. As the Hanging Tree tells Jack about the burial chamber.
It's the largest grave in this area. It's infested with spiders and cobwebs.
Ooh!
Romantic.
On to the next level, the Crypt Keeper. Jack makes his way to the burial chambers, but suddenly Locke returns for some reason.
Why do you always have to spoil our fun? This is the last time you'll get in our way!
Jack defeats Locke as well as Oogie's minions, as once again Locke promises to never serve Oogie again while crossing his fingers behind his back. Anyway, Jack goes through a maze-like corridor filled with ghosts and spiders. Speaking of which, Jack finds Sally as she gets entangled into a web made by a giant spider. He manages to strike the giant spider by simply swiping its back and defeating multiple spiders, therefore inflicting damage onto the spider. The more the spider's health, the smaller the spider gets. Jack defeats the spider, now normal size, as he saves Sally from the spider's entanglement. Oh, and Jack retrieves the Valentine's Day door. Sally tells Jack to rescue Dr. Finkelstein and gives him the key to his manor.
We're all safe now that our Pumpkin King has returned.
Wow.
Pumpkin King? Sally, that's it!
What's it?
I am the Pumpkin King, and I can use my pumpkin fire to fight Oogie and his army.
I think now would be a good time to talk about the Pumpkin King power-up. It can use fire to burn enemies as well as obstacles. However, it uses red tokens called Fire Souls that lets Jack perform special attacks. And that's pretty much it. Next chapter, the Doctor's Hunch. Jack makes it to the Doctor's lab, but manages to find Igor.
No, it's pronounced Igor.
But they told me it was Igor.
Well, they were wrong then, weren't they?
Unfortunately, Igor can't let Jack through because if he did...
No biscuit!
Igor tells Jack that he can get a biscuit from the witch's shop, and Igor agrees to let him pass only if Jack gives Igor a biscuit. Once Jack makes his way to the shop, he's then immediately stopped by Shock. Just like Locke, Shock calls up ghosts that Jack ends up defeating. Let me point out right now that I can't stand these ghosts because there are times when I'm trying to defeat them only to have them fly to the background. But hey, they are ghosts for a reason.
Where'd they all go? Turn the scram!
Well, at least we don't have to go through the same routine again. The witch tells Jack that she just sold the last biscuit to the corpse kid, who won't let Jack take the biscuit until he passes a quiz about Halloween Town. There's nothing much to say except these questions are easy, only if you've seen the movie. Up next we have the lightning round. Jack gives Igor the biscuit and therefore letting him pass, but then a bolt of lightning strikes at Jack.
Where is that thing getting its power from?
Doctor had big generator behind the door over there. Jack's master, it was something to make stop.
And that's all you're doing. Jack has to swing a boulder at the gears in order to destroy the generator and therefore cause the lightning to stop. Once that's done, you have to rush your way to the doctor's lab while under a time limit. But if you fail to do so, you get zapped to a crisp. And to make matters worse, you have to start the level again from the beginning. I can't stand this part because you also have enemies blocking your path, so don't tempt yourself in killing enemies because you'll then be wasting your time. Anyway, once you make it to the lab, the level's over, right? Nope. Shock once again tries to stop Jack from succeeding his mission by rolling balls onto a ramp in order to have him crushed into powdered ash.
I don't want to crush your spirit, Jack.
Wow.
Just your body.
So Jack steals his way to the top of the tower while trying to avoid the rolling balls. You can do so by hiding into one of these slits or by grabbing these hooks onto higher ledges. Be sure to get some extra health while you can. Once that's over with, Shock surrenders by waving her white flag via broomstick. And just like Locke, Shock is told by Jack to stop serving Oogie, resulting in her agreeing while crossing her fingers behind her back. The more I see this happening, the more monotonous this game gets.
Yeah.
Jack takes the elevator up as we head to the next level, changing brains. At the doctor's laboratory, Jack finds out that Oogie switched the doctor's brain, putting him under Oogie's control. And Jack figures out how to save the doctor from doing any harm.
If I open his head from behind, then get in front of him and throw his real brain in... Yes! That should work.
And that's exactly what Jack does, while at the same time avoiding gun pellets, killer claws, and lightning blasts. It's not much of a boss battle, except that there's an optional dance battle just to open the skull and just to swing the brain into it. Also, this is the only song in the game that is not based on a song from the movie, and it's actually a pretty good song. Before I move on, I want to point out that if you mess up the dance sequence by not pressing the right buttons at the right time, the dance battle will stop, but the actual boss battle does continue normally. After Jack replaces the Oogie brain with the real brain, Jack retreats to St. Patrick's Day door.
Indeed, that is a holiday door. Jack, what's today's date?
Why, today is December 24th. Oh no! It's almost Christmas!
Jack tells Finkelstein that Oogie's monsters possess the pumpkins at the entrance to the pumpkin patch, preventing anyone from entering. While Finkelstein makes a device for Jack, Sally gives Jack a present, which transforms him into his Sandy costume, therefore giving him the Santa Jack power-up. With this power-up, he can scare away ghosts and monsters from possessing anything, including pumpkins. Next level, Pumpkin Patch Possession. Jack makes his way to the pumpkin patch, which I must point out is unlocked at the beginning of the game. I guess that explains why every time I defeat the monsters with the soul rubber in an earlier chapter, they always seem to regenerate every time.
You said it, dude.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Nothing much. I was wondering how Jack and Santa would possibly get to those pumpkins.
I was just about to get to that.
As Santa Jack, he can throw presents at possessed items or leveled up monsters and can spring them at a close range to spook them away. Then you can defeat the monsters normally with the soul robber.
Oh, so that's how it's done. Thanks, gamer.
No problem, Hux.
That's all I want to know. Anyway, later, dude.
After that, Jack finds Behemoth and he tells Jack about the pumpkin patch and what has happened to it. When suddenly... Yeah, I forgot to mention that every time that sounds, it means that Oogie interfered with the sound system, and Oogie would like to make an announcement to everyone in Halloween Town, or Oogie Town as he calls it.
In fact, now that I think about it, how did Oogie manage to get into the PA system? For all I know, it could have been like this.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wow.
Ooh, now let's see. If I turn on this screen here.
Wow.
Go as well as this mic. There we go. Now, let's find out if this works.
Wow.
Hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Am I on? Citizens of Oogie Town.
Wow.
Jack has returned, according to the reports. He's enjoying our dangerous Oogie Town.
Wow.
So much, he's screaming in horror. Rejoice! This is all thanks to your efforts.
Or something like that.
Next up, Barrel's Maze. Jack comes across the kids, again, as they continue to pester Jack.
Aw, Jack, we're just getting started.
Our biggest trick is yet to come. You're gonna get so lost. And after what we did to the mayor's house, oops.
As Barrel foreshadows what's going to happen later in the game, Jack comes across Barrel's Maze. The level itself is pretty much self-explanatory. Jack has to slash at pumpkin heads in order to make the branches move out of Jack's way. While doing so, he has to, of course, defeat all monsters that come to his path. The level ends when Jack reaches the pumpkin head. Next level, Peril in the Pumpkin's Head. Jack finds ghosts that are attacking within the giant pumpkin head that looms over the pumpkin patch. Jack jumps into the pumpkin head as he defeats all the ghosts and skeletons along the way while making his way down to the bottom of the pumpkin head. He then finds Beryl eating pumpkins with a bunch of skeletons.
What? You made it through my maze?
Now, Beryl, it's time I taught you a lesson.
In this battle, Beryl has a slingshot, which he uses to inflict damage onto Jack. It's pretty much the same battle with Locke from earlier, so there's nothing much to add. Jack retreats to Thanksgiving door as Jack yet again gives his stop serving Oogie warning, only this time to Barrel.
Now, no more serving Oogie.
Okay, Jack.
Well, at least he didn't cross his fingers behind his back, so he's gotta be trustworthy at the very least. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Why must this be tedious every time?
Continue. Oh my god. Hold on. What is that?
Back, so he's gotta be trustworthy at the very least. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Why must this be tedious every time? Anyway, next level, Runaway Clown. Jack makes his way to the town plaza and unlocks the gate to the residential area. Speaking of which, you have to press the start button to go to your items menu and selecting that item, like a key for example, in order to use it. Once he's there, the Big Witch tells Jack about Clown's unicycle going completely out of whack. But how exactly did that happen?
It seems those Oogie baddies installed some kind of engine in Clown's unicycle.
So Jack tries to spook the clown via Christmas present. While it does stun him, it doesn't stop the engine from running. After figuring out that Dr. Finkelstein has lots of tools to help the situation, Jack makes his way to the doctor's laboratory and finds an all-in-one tool that can fix almost anything. So back to the residential area, Jack once again spooks the clown. Only this time, Jack takes the tool and removes the engine from the unicycle. Clown tells Jack that he saw some of Oogie's monsters heading toward the Vampire Brothers' house when his cycle went psycho. On to the next chapter, the Vampire Brothers. Jack finds out that the Vampire Brothers are also under Oogie's control by having them transformed into bats. All that Jack has to do is lure the bats into the presents, spook them, and quickly grab them at the right time. Jack then takes the bats into the coffins, where they not only become vampires once more, but they also give Jack a piece of the key to the mayor's house. After Jack saves all four of the brothers as well as retrieving the key to the mayor's house, they reveal Oogie's plan to Jack. By capturing all the holiday doors, including the Christmas door, as well as all the leaders of each holiday, in order to become the 7 Holidays King.
The 7 Holidays King? This is intolerable.
Next level, the mayor's madhouse. Jack makes his way to the mayor's house as he places each piece of the key together to form the mayor's face. As that's done, he then finds the mayor trapped in a cage dangling from a sideways pole looming above Halloween Town. All Jack has to do is scale the house and rescue the mayor while fighting Oogie's goons. The mayor tells Jack that he saw some of Oogie's minions on the roof that might possibly lead to finding the holiday door. By the way, I want to point out that unlike the other levels where the ballad music is a rendition of This Is Halloween, the ballad music for this level is a rendition of Making Christmas entitled Take Our Town Back. I like to think of it as the citizens cheering on for Jack as he tries to save Halloween Town from Oogie's terror. Which leads to the next level, Rooftop Rumble. Jack makes it to the roof as he comes across, who else? Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Another round, Jack?
As if you had a choice.
It's time you three learned all games must come to an end. Especially this one.
Wow.
Not since this phase has Jack ever become more intimidating as well as frightening. Jack yet again fights Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Only this time, it's a legitimate boss battle with musical notes that lead to a dance battle against the trio. At the same time, we get to listen to Hail to Mr. Oogie, which is the same tune as Kidnap the Sandy Claus. And I'm not gonna lie, this is my least favorite song in the game. I just don't think the song is as memorable as the one from the movie. Jack first has to disable the trio's tubmobile and then defeat the trio. Once that's done, he retrieves the Independence Day door. It's now Jack's turn to intimidate the 3 pranksters, but it turns out they have something else down their sleeves. The trio yell out,
"Trick or treat!"
as they stomp on a button that activates a drop hole that Jack falls into.
Looks like he really fell for that one.
Wow.
Up next, we have the Grizzly Gauntlet, my most hated level of the game. I say this because every time Jack falls into the lava, you then get sent back to the beginning of that section. And before I forget, if Jack loses all of his health and then die, we see Jack on the Angel gravestone as seen in the movie. Think of it as the continue screen you see on an arcade. If you choose to continue, you replenish your health, but it would cost you a certain percentage of your souls. I actually like the idea because it lets you, the gamer, decide whether or not to spend your currency on continuing your game. Anyway, Jack has to scale the gauntlet as he makes his way to the cave's king's room.
So as you can see, this is where Oogie's been hiding all the holiday leaders this whole time. And so far, we only managed to find 5 of the 7 holiday leaders.
What? Now how is this possible?
Hey!
It seems Jet has not only figured out my plan, but he's also found out where I've hid the holiday leaders. Snake Eyes! I gotta stop him before it gets worse for me.
Wow. Wow.
But first, maybe I should take a peek on who's been playing my little game. Yes.
Wow.
But suddenly Suddenly, another giant spire pops in, and it's pretty much the same as the last time we fought a giant spire in this game, except without the dance part. Jack then finds a cell case that takes him back to the fountain area from the dried up fountain. Anyway, Jack enters the Christmas holiday cell as he traverses more of the gauntlet, and the level ends when he reaches the casino area, which then proceeds to the next level, Casino Clash. Jack finds Oogie on a rotating spike pedestal as he asks Oogie about Sandy.
Jack, weren't you listening? I said I had a debt to repay old Santa Claus. A debt I'm going to pay back in person.
As Oogie tells Jack that he hit the Christmas store someplace nasty, he opens up the Oogie Casino. Also, it's nice seeing Oogie in his neon green color, as well as the casino itself, because it looks almost exactly like the one from the movie.
Wow.
What are we gambling for, you ask? Nothing all that valuable. Just your life. Cue the music.
Wow.
The boss battle against Oogie does feel similar to the last Oogie boss battle, with another rendition of Oogie's song, as well as another dance battle, if he managed to collect enough music notes. But there's more to it, though. Jack can destroy these animatronic sword-wielding cars, as well as swinging at shooting gunmen. Swinging them enough times will have them backfire and shoot at Oogie instead. There's also these exploding dice, which Jack can swing at Oogie to inflict damage on him. Also, if Oogie managed to suck up one of the bombs, Oogie's insides would explode, causing him to be stunned, giving Jack more time to attack him. So Oogie is defeated, but somehow not out of it.
Wow.
Who has the last laugh wins.
It turns out that Jack actually defeated Oogie's shadow, and we find out that the real Oogie is in Christmas Town. After Oogie's shadow explodes, I think, Jack manages to retrieve
the Easter door? But where's
Wow.
the Christmas door? I'd better get back to the plaza. Ha!
Wow.
I always wonder what was underneath Oogie's hideout, but who knew there was water? Anyway, it then leads to the next.
Wow. Wow.
Well, what do we have here? Fairly high.
Wow.
Oh, I'm really
Wow.
scared. So you're the one that's been playing my game.
Enough! I don't want to get copyright for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I thought it'd make the perfect entrance by having me sing my only song in the movie, you know.
Wow, exactly.
Also, what are you doing here?
Oh, I see that you're playing Oogie's Revenge on the PlayStation 2. And I've noticed that.
Jack is fooling your plans to become the Seven Holidays team by recovering the holiday doors, as well as returning the holiday leaders to where they belong.
Uh-huh.
Well, aren't you good at this?
Thank you.
So, what do you think of it?
I haven't finished it yet.
Oh.
But I am liking it so far. I feel this game is a good follow-up to the movie it's based on.
Well, glad to see you having fun. Now, while you continue your game, I've got a bit of a debt to pay to old Santa Claus.
Let me guess. A debt you're willing to pay in person?
Exactly. See you later, gamer.
Wow. Wow. Wow, that was...
Strange.
Yeah, exactly.
He seems so kind and nice.
Anyway. It then leads to the next level, Spiral Hill. Jack returns to the plaza via fountain as the citizens of Halloween Town cheer and encourage Jack to defeat Oogie once and for all. I think it's good to point out that while at the plaza, you can use this opportunity to upgrade your weapons as well as increasing your health. Speaking of health, fighting for skulls earns you another crystal bottle, which you can use to replenish your health whenever needed. Anyway, Jack makes his way to Town Hall as he tells the mayor that 5 of the holiday leaders are trapped in Oogie's hideout.
What?
As a favor, he asks the mayor to return the holiday leaders back to their worlds while Jack makes his way to Christmas Town.
You can count on me, Jack. I won't let you down.
Jack then runs to the hanging tree as the tree tells Jack that Oogie took the Spiral Hill path to the hinterlands while his minions are guarding the gate to Spiral Hill.
Okay.
And like the Hanging Men mission, Jack needs Zero to help him find the gate key. Can I just point out right now that I love the orchestral version of Sally's song? It just sounds beautiful in my opinion. After Jack finds the key hidden in the gravestone that reads Hen Bane, he then makes his way to Spiral Hill. I have to say in all honesty that I love Spiral Hill. It looks exactly like what you see in the film. In fact, I think all of the locations have the same style as the movie. Just like the DuckTales games, Capcom managed to replicate everything beautifully in this game. So graphically, it looks amazing. Jack then finds Spiral Hill as well as stones with engraved shapes on the holiday doors. It turns out that placing the holiday doors in the correct stone holes made the Spiral Hill bridge stretch out, making the path complete. Jack then finds Sally at the top of Spiral Hill as they reenact the ending of the movie.
Uh-huh.
We'll stand together now and forever.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this very troubled night.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, makes more sense. Anyway.
This may be one of the most beautiful moments I've ever seen in any video game. Anyway, we head off to the next level, the Hinterlands Part 1. First off, let me point out that the Hinterlands perfectly replicate the Burton-esque design of what looks like a sketch drawing, and I absolutely love it. Anyway, Jack has to find both the St. Patrick and the Independence Day holiday door tree stumps and put each of the doors in place of the Oogie doors. I also love this bit of dialogue for Jack after seeing both the tree stumps disappear and therefore giving back the color to the Hinterlands.
Oh, well.
Once that's done, Jack has to find the other holiday doors, all of which were replaced by Oogie doors. After finding one of the holiday doors, Jack has to defeat a specific amount of Oogie's goons under a time limit. Doing so makes the Oogie door fall off.
I get it. If I replace these Oogie doors with the real holiday doors at Spiral Hill, I should be able to put all the doors back in place.
However, if you don't manage to defeat the enemies within a time limit, the Oogie door remains sealed and the path opens up again. Thankfully, you can try again as many times as possible until you succeed. Out of all the holiday doors, the Halloween Town door is the most difficult, not only because of the short time limit, but also because of these ghosts that I despise so much.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's really nothing much to add. After clearing all the Oogie doors, Jack makes his way back to Spiral Hill as he replaces them with the real holiday doors in order to keep the Spiral Hill bridge intact.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next level, Fire and Ice Frenzy. More than 10 years before Sonic Boom and Fire and Ice became a thing.
Okay.
Jack wanders around Spiral
Wait,
Hill when
hold
suddenly
up.
these two monsters suddenly appear.
Hold up.
Moving on to the next level, Fire and Ice Frenzy. More than 10 years before Sonic Boom and Fire and Ice became a thing.
Okay, makes sense. Continue on.
Jack wanders around Spiral Hill when suddenly these two monsters suddenly appear. It's a simple boss battle, but with the fire and ice monsters.
Okay.
At first, it's similar to how you fight the other giant monsters by slashing behind their backs with the Soul Robber and sometimes defeating them with their own weapon.
Okay.
That is until they transform into Phantom Mode, which are spooked by Santa Jack's trap presence.
Okay.
But once the monsters hit you, you then feel dizzy for a few seconds. Once they're defeated, Jack finally retrieves the Christmas holiday door.
Now I have all the holiday doors. I've got to hurry to Christmas Town.
How could this be? I had a strong feeling these monsters would have killed Jack instantly.
Wow.
No matter. He still can't defeat me. I'm still in Christmas Town raising chaos and havoc among the citizens. Note to self. Hide the Christmas door someplace nasty.
No.
Next level, the Hinterlands Part 2. Jack goes back to the Hinterlands, only now he has to place the real holiday doors back to their proper places. Then he makes his way to the 7 Holiday Circle where the Christmas store is located at. After Jack replaces the Oogie door with the real holiday door, Jack gets sucked into Christmas Town via snowflakes. Then he falls the same way he did in the movie. Speaking of Christmas Town, it happens to be the next level. In Oogie's hideout, the mayor has just rescued all the holiday leaders. And for those who are wondering, yes, those are the bags that Lost Shotgun Barrel used when they kidnapped Sandy. And the Easter Bunny. Meanwhile, Jack arrives at Christmas Town, and it's up to him to save the town from Oogie's control.
Oh no! I've got to hurry!
So Jack has to find ornaments that are needed to fix the Christmas tree, which somehow became an Oogie tree. And exactly how and where can you find these ornaments? By destroying carousels, slashing on trees, and defeating Oogie's goons in the houses of elves by lighting up lanterns via fire, or using the soul grab while riding on trains. And that's pretty much it from what I can tell. On to the next level, saving Sandy. Jack makes his way to the Christmas Junction when guess who shows up?
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, Jack!
It turns out that Oogie tied up Sandy and leaving him hanging by a rope. However, an Oogie train comes in there with a knife that's set up to cut the rope, which could result in killing Santa. So to prevent it from happening, Jack has to switch the train tracks and stop the train using both the Soul Robber as well as Phantom Jack.
Ooh, that was close. What? You again?
Sandy, it's not... Well, you see, I'm truly...
Ah! Can't anyone perish around here?
After one of the elves secretly dropped one of the trap gifts onto Santa's sleigh, flown by Oogie, Sally arrives in Jack's sleigh that he used when he tried to be Santa that one Christmas Eve when the real Santa was stuck with Oogie. Also, Sally tells Jack some great news.
Jack, the mayor returned all the holiday leaders back to their worlds.
That's great news, Sally. Thanks. Now all that's left to take care of is Oogie.
Which leads to the final level of the game, taking out the trash. While Oogie flies Santa's sleigh, the holiday presents scare the moonlight out of Oogie, as well as the reindeer as he falls into Holiday Trash Hill, which Oogie doesn't take very well. As a result, Oogie uses telepathic energy to call in more bugs in the same way as Goku gathering up keys to make himself stronger, making him turn into...
Wait, hold up.
Call in more bugs in the same way as Goku gathering up keys to make himself stronger.
Is he like Dragon Ball Z difference? Continue on.
Turn into...
Okay, makes sense. Wow.
Sandy, I'll take care of Oogie. You hurry up and deliver those presents.
Gladly. Merry Christmas, Jack. Ho, ho, ho.
It starts off with a classic combat battle as normal. Jack notices gas spewing out in these pipes, which he can use to his advantage with his Pumpkin Jack ability. With it, he can set Oogie blazing his way to a fiery grave. And if that doesn't work, you can always attack him with a soul rubber. Once defeated, he then falls to the ground. But suddenly... And to no surprise, the second tier is, of course, a final dance battle against Oogie. This is without a doubt the most difficult dance battle in this entire game. And here's why. As I mentioned before, the regular dance battles stop if you mess up the dance too many times. But if at any time you mess up in this dance battle, you end up losing your health. And if you die here, you don't go straight back to the dance battle. Instead, you have to start the entire level all over again. But your health does replenish when you start the dance battle, so I'm okay with that. However, I have to say right now that this is the best version of Oogie's song I've ever heard in my life. And don't get me wrong, I'll always love the song from the movie, but this version takes the cake. Also, Jack can even transform into Santa Jack as well as the Pumpkin King in different portions of the song, which I like. Nothing else to say except that it's pretty awesome. So Jack defeats Oogie once and for all as Oogie barfs up his bugs.
Wow. Wow.
Meanwhile, Santa manages to deliver the presents to the kids on time as Jack apologizes for causing him trouble again.
No, Jack. This time I owe you my gratitude. Thank you for saving my life.
So Santa makes his way back home to Christmas Town as Jack returns to Sally at Halloween Town.
You know, it's strange. Whenever I set out to find something new, my eyes are open to a larger world.
Just like the movie did. So Jack decides not to leave again because all of his adventures come close to home. And the game ends, how else, exactly like the movie.
But there is one more thing I want to talk about before I end the review. That is Jack's house.
Jack's house has extra features such as artwork, clips from the game, and even a closet that lets Jack change into different costumes like his pajama outfit. Plus, there's a chalkboard showing his unfinished formula to Christmas, which is a nice touch. And that's pretty much it.
But you're forgetting one thing.
What is it, Oogie?
Even though Jack managed to defeat me again, I can still call upon Lock, Shock, and Bell to put me back together again.
Hey, Gamer, did I miss anything?
Miss what?
Whoa! Gamer? What is that?
Well...
Let me tell you something, Mr. Furball.
Oh, man!
Boogie, and the gambling is my game.
Yeah, what he said. Also, to answer your question, Hux, I did finish Oogie's Revenge.
And what did you think of it?
And how was it, Game Boy?
Well, if I'm gonna be honest, I actually love this game.
I have to hand it to Capcom. They managed to put in as much effort as possible to make this game feel as if you're watching or playing the definitive sequel to the movie. Graphically, it looks incredible. Each of the main worlds look very similar, if not exact, to the film it was based on. Especially Spiral Hill and the Hinterlands. I even like the designs for the new locations like the Doctor's Lab and the Graveyard. As for the gameplay, it does feel similar to Devil May Cry, but there are some things that DMC would not normally have, like dance battles. While it does have some challenging moments here and there, even the monotonous ones, I don't think it affects the game as a whole for me. I also love the game's music because it perfectly replicates the Danny Elfman score from the film. Overall, Oogie's Revenge is a fantastic game for anyone who is interested in the hack and slash genre who also happens to be a Nightmare Before Christmas fanatic. Whether it's on Christmas or Halloween, this game is perfect for any holiday.
So, Oogie, what do you mean when you say come back to life? Are you like a god?
No, Hux. It means that he comes back to life courtesy of Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Who?
My little helpers. They've always believed for as long as they can remember. As long as they're alive, I'll always return after every defeat. And another thing, I make appearances in the parks with special meet and greets as well as parades. So at least I still entertain a crowd with my gambling skills.
Wow.
Now, if you excuse me, I better get going. I have to return to my hideout and prepare for next year's Halloween. Hopefully, Jack won't be around to foil my plans again. Until then, we'll meet again.
Wow.
Gamer, I still have no idea who that guy is.
Wow.
I'm the Fairly Odd Gamer, and I wish you all good luck the rest of your day or night, wherever you are, and most importantly, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And I hope to see you all next time in 2020.
Yeah, one of the worst years of, saying like COVID-19 years. Continue on. Okay, makes sense now. So that was Fairly Odd Gamer, Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. Okay, makes more sense now. What did I think about this episode? I think it was amazing. So far, this episode was a successful episode. Excuse me. Anyway, pause it right there. Hang on, it makes more sense. Anyway. And, yeah, it makes more sense anyway. Anyway. Wow, Oogie Boogie, okay. Makes sense, anyway. That was LJPCBM episode number 872. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be LJPCBM episode number 873. I'm not sure I'm going to react to next, but we'll see what happens. Till next time, this is Joe's about piece of baby. We get more to react, guys, we soon. Till I say out. See ya.
Given unto me this life I'll never take for granted, and given all the time I failed to really understand it, I never sought to meet the maker of reality, the one who gave the life that which is always happening, but I tried all the time. I ask, why me? Why was I the one to see things as I do under the moonlight and the sun? Perception is the question, and the giver holds the key.